to Bachelor Buzz, the best place to come for recaps on your favorite reality TV dating show and the latest in Bachelor Nation news. We're your hosts, Arena.
And Julia, and today we are talking about Joan's hometown visit, woo, with her final four.
Yes.
And it was definitely a good episode. We learned a lot. So we're excited to talk through it with you guys. Today I am drinking, we're actually recording midday, so no wine, no cocktails, but I do have a fun drink. I'm drinking an affogato, a coffee with ice cream in it. And it's not because I just usually do this. I actually ran out of creamer, so I have some oat milk vanilla ice cream, but it's really good. It's a good backup for running out of creamer.
I like that.
How about you, Arena?
I have a note about the creamer too. I have green tea, matcha green tea, because I either drink matcha green tea in the morning or I drink black tea. And actually, when I was out visiting over the summer, and everyone, you remember when Julia and I recorded together? Well, one of those times she offered me tea, and she used an oat milk creamer that was like this delicious oat milk cookie like creamer.
Yes, it was oatmeal raisin.
Yes, oatmeal raisin.
Yes,
I loved it, and now I buy
it.
I'm
so glad.
I need it with my black tea, but today it's
That's yummy. That sounds really good.
So, because for me, guys, it's like 9:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah, that's
I've been up
early.
for hours, but like,
yeah. For me, it's around noon. It's 12:30. So got to bounce back to work soon, but I'm really glad we could squeeze this in during my lunch break. Thank you for your flexibility, Reina.
Of course. Yes, of course. And I'll be working a little later. And after this, I got to take the kids out for a fun day because school's out today. So I have both kids at home.
Oh, is it like a teacher work day or what's up with that?
It's like a holiday, like a local holiday, and so they close the schools. So it happens to be on a Friday, and trunk or treat was yesterday night, so it actually worked out.
So that does sound like a good. I took my son. I think I mentioned I took him to. Pardon me. I took him to a Halloween parade on Wednesday.
Oh no, I didn't know that. So fun.
It was cute. I was a zookeeper. The baby was a monkey, and my husband was a giant banana. It was really cute. So, because I think I've mentioned to our viewers, I won't be here next week, sadly, but I'm going on a fun trip for a wedding, going to Iceland. Very excited, never been. But I am missing Halloween, the second Halloween with my son. So we wanted to do something special on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's good that you guys were able to do that. It is Halloween festivities season, especially with kids, young kids, guys. As those of you who know, it's like we did a fall fest trunk or treat last weekend, which I helped volunteer set up, which was great, but more physical activity than I anticipated. So I was pretty winded after, and I was like, "What's this mean?" But
that's
it was
your workout,
great.
whatever.
Yeah, that's my workout, and that was my son's preschool, and then our daughter had her trunk or treat last night, and of course we have Halloween trick-or-treating next week on actual Halloween, and then there's just always fun stuff.
Now, question, are your kids the same thing every time do the Halloween costume, or are they switching up the costumes? Because I can see your daughter doing that.
She wanted to do that, but then last minute she was like, "No, I'm just gonna stick with my Princess Aurora costume."
Princess Aurora,
I know, right?
Favorite.
Yes, and it's the
girl.
pink,
beautiful.
It's the pink outfit. I bought her a new crown, which is like gold, and not just like the costume crowns. This is like a nice one,
a real one.
I spent $1,000. No, $1,000 just for her costume.
I went at an auction.
But yeah, she is just so excited. But my son, he actually did 2 different costumes. He did Paw Patrol for his fall fest, and then he did an F1 race car driver for last night.
That's fun. Okay. Well, you know what though? I know that you guys are a fun family, so I'm sure you guys had so much fun like getting everyone ready.
Yeah.
That's so cute. I can't wait till next year when my son actually like wants to be a character. Like he's still just doing what we want. We're just like, you're a monkey. He's a monkey.
He's so cute.
No, he actually was like, like we went to the parade, but some would argue we were the parade. I mean, everyone was like, "Look at that monkey!"
Course,
It
you
was
didn't
so
do
cute.
it. Like
I was
real
very
talk.
proud of him, and he was
Oh,
so good with the little monkey hat. I
oh,
thought he would rip it off and cry, but he had it on the whole time.
oh,
So
that's so cute. Well, it's just fun times, guys, Halloween times and busy, busy time. But we still come to you with this recap
yes,
because we know it's important and we know you want to hear it and watch it. So, and we want to
yes,
talk about it. So,
yes. I know. I'm glad
so
we could still make it work, even though this is not our
yes.
normal recording time.
It's okay.
That's okay.
It's still happening, and everyone's going to
Lives.
get it this week. So that's what matters. And they can listen to it while they're doing stuff this weekend. I don't know.
Oh
You're
yeah. While you're
welcome.
decorating. I don't
Yes,
know.
decorating. So let's get started into this. What, sadly, guys, I think because this cold open was not ominous, that I feel like we missed it.
Oh my god.
We
Well, we got
rewatched.
it. We had to rewatch it.
Yes,
Um it was so cute
it was cute. It
actually.
was
It
so
was
cute.
Pascal's grandson
Yeah.
asking Joan. First, he asked her, "Do you have any grandkids?" She talked about him. That was cute. And then he says, "Have you kissed my grandpa?"
Uh-huh.
she
Right to
was
it.
like, she's like, "Yes." She was like so embarrassed. She's like, "It's so embarrassing, but yes." But he loved it. Like he wanted to hear that, and it's cute. And then so that was a very positive
Yes.
note to start the episode.
Yeah. I
And
love that.
then there's Golden Bachelorette.
Yeah, so
Boom.
we go in and she is at LAX, which is the Los Angeles International Airport. For those who may not know, it is an incredibly busy airport, guys. Just want to throw that out there. They are also doing renovations still, and it is crazy busy. It is the busiest airport I've ever been to. Although I've been to Atlanta International Airport, and I've heard that is actually the busiest in the country.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I've heard that. But I think when I flew in, it was like early in the morning, so it wasn't that
Mm.
bad. But she goes to LAX. She's talking about the fact that this is her first hometown since she went to visit her husband, her late husband John's parents, which was 40 years ago. And she's also like, this is a different dynamic, of course, because she's not meeting parents, she's meeting kids, grandkids. It's a totally different dynamic. So I like that she brought that up. And she really seemed so elated to go and happy and just ready to
Mhm.
get on that flight. And if they really did show the order of hometowns and the way that they actually filmed it, she had a short flight to Reno, Nevada, to
Uh-huh.
go see Guy in Lake Tahoe. So that's our first hometown.
Yeah. And seems like they were very excited to see each other. He takes her out on his boat on the lake, and we know that Joan loves boating. She loves anything to do with like
Yeah.
boats or the water.
Mhm.
So I think he planned a very nice date for her.
Smart.
And I thought it was really cute. I didn't know about this. You probably knew, Arena, because you know like everything about California and Nevada. Um, but I guess if on Lake Tahoe you can make a wish. So they each made a wish. He made a wish that he made like wonderful memories. Is that what he wished?
It was that every I think so. I don't even remember his wish. I remember hers. I'm so
Hers
sorry.
was
But
like, that's okay. No, I'm pretty sure his was like, I just want to make wonderful memories. Hers was obviously that I hope to find someone to spend my golden years with.
yeah, which was great.
Um, yeah, very on brand for Joan. And they both made those wishes, and I just thought that was really nice. Again, we know some things about Guy that we're not happy about, but we do have to remember that we're watching it through her eyes at the moment. She
Yeah.
doesn't know this stuff, so we are happy to see that she is happy.
Yes. Definitely
Yeah.
happy to see that. And
Mhm.
so then we go to a house. And obviously, as we know, guys, sometimes in the Bachelorette universe, they don't actually go to the house of the family. Sometimes it's literally like an Airbnb or
Yeah.
a home away, like a situation where they
Yeah.
rent a house, which is totally fine and makes sense because also some people don't want you to know where they live because people are weird. They can go
100%.
online and be like, oh, I saw that house and look
Yeah.
somehow Google Maps or something. So we go to a
Yeah.
house and he has like, I think all of his siblings, because there were several brothers and sisters there, and then his
Yeah.
kids and his grandson. He's a little baby. And I think he
Cute.
had one friend there too,
Mhm.
and his sisters were a trip. Because as soon as they walked in, the one sister's like, "Oh, all I have to say is like she whistled, like, or like what was it? What did she do?" Because she was like, "Joan is beautiful." Like
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
So
They seem to be very impressed with Joan off the
yes,
bat. They
they
were
loved
just like,
her.
"Wow." They
Mhm.
mentioned how he looks very happy with her. It did seem like a very positive
Yeah.
environment.
Mhm.
His sister talked about how he was really there for her,
Yeah.
when her husband
Her
passed?
husband passed
So
at like
sad.
68, and she was like, "Guy was there for me, there for my kids." And so that
Mhm.
was really nice to hear, of course. And I know
Yeah,
Joan appreciated that as well. And
yeah.
she talked to the sisters, and then she talked to the sons.
Mhm.
And I don't think well, they didn't show her talk to the brothers, but she probably did.
Probably.
Um,
Mhm.
and and then they showed Guy talking to his sisters, and then I think they showed him talking to his brother, one of his brothers. It was just so many, so much. He had so many people there to
A lot of
support him,
people
which was
there.
beautiful. Like
Yes,
so
yeah.
many people, and he was really choked up, thinking he would never love again. But now he feels like he's headed
Mhm.
in that direction. So
Yeah.
that was
He's like, "I
really
feel like I
nice.
finally can let love in again," or
Yeah,
he says something like that.
yeah.
And I did think that was good. Again, that's the kind of thing she wants to hear.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that guy earned a lot of points
Oh
from that kind of
yes,
thing. I
yes.
feel like she ended that hometown feeling the same, kind of just like, okay, he's definitely still in the
Hmm.
running. I feel
Yes.
like his family accepts me.
Hmm.
I feel confident,
Hmm.
and that's important to mention right now, guys, because she actually doesn't feel that way for every guy in this
Yeah.
episode. So it is definitely good that she feels good with Guy.
Yeah, and
I
I'll
want her
also
to feel
say
good.
real quick, I thought this
Mhm.
was really great that being such a huge fan of Charles L, she brought him up when she was talking to the
Oh
family to kind of
yeah,
demonstrate how Guy has a heart and is empathetic. But mentioning Charles was, I mean, what other contestant has been mentioned on the hometown of another person in this show? I mean,
yeah.
that does not happen.
Charles L was an angel
He
brought to
what he
Bachelor.
is, and I hope I see him again and
Yeah,
again and again. I wanna see him on the Golden Bachelor cruise. I wanna see him just pop up at any Bachelor Nation event from now on, and I wanna see him have his own reality show because he's amazing. This is just
yeah,
he's a joy.
for sure. Okay.
So
So should we move on to our
yeah,
next guy? Our next guy.
Chicago. There's 2 guys in Chicago.
I know. So this is a one and done kind of trip for her.
Mhm.
Next she meets up with Pascal. So I did like this. As soon as she sees him, he's got his 2 coffees ready, one for her, one for him. And I was like, yes, Pascal,
Yes.
like we know this man um is like a little bougie, but like the
Love it.
thoughtfulness with the
Yes.
bougie, that's just the
Yes.
perfect thing.
Yes, it is.
So I thought that was very sweet, that he had that ready for her. He knew her order. And that
Mhm.
was just really cute to start off the date.
Oh, yes, I really love that. They sit down at the cafe, they talk a little bit, then he takes her over to his salon, which the way he
Mhm.
says it, I'm like,
Le
"Yes."
salon.
I'm
Oui,
like,
oui.
"Oui, oui." I
I know. He's just I love
He's
him. Honestly, of
so
all the guys, I would definitely wanna hang out with Pascal for a day,
yes,
like,
right? Oh my gosh.
100%.
I love it. And yeah, and I love just the way that his business, like you can tell he put so much
Oh my
effort
gosh.
and thought into it because it looked like a
Such a
converted house
success.
that they
It was,
made
like,
into like a
huge.
brownstone into a
Yes.
salon. And I was like, "Oh
It
my
was 2
gosh,
stories,
yes."
bustling, so many
Yes.
workers and
So many.
clients. It
Yeah.
was all, like, really nice. It wasn't, like, the most modern looking place, but you could tell it was, like, curated to be, like, almost just like a fancy area. Like,
Yes.
everything was, like, wood and marble and, like,
Mhm.
lights, and it was very beautiful. And, I mean, time stopped when he walked in with Joan. All the workers came up. They were all so excited to see her. And then he did a little clap, clap, back to work.
I know,
And,
the
and,
door
and,
people.
and like, I think a lot of bosses, if they do that to their staff, they might be met with a lot of rolled eyes and
Yeah.
annoyance. But for him,
Mhm.
his staff was like, yes, sir,
Yeah.
back to your date. Bye. And like they just went right back to business. And
Yeah.
that was really telling. Like you can tell he's a good manager, good
Yes.
owner. Like
Mhm.
he just seems like a great guy. He really does. The truth is in the pudding. Look at all these people who adore him, you know?
Exactly. He really does. Like Joan said, he seems like a people person and he seems like, you know what? He loves the finer things in life and he is bougie, but he's not snobby. There's a difference,
Yeah.
guys. I
Yeah.
think people use it interchangeably, but
Right.
no. He is not. He seems like a decent, down to earth human being who just likes really nice things and likes to provide nice things to people, hence his salon being the way
Yeah.
it is and the services that he provides. It's just something that speaks to who he is, and definitely. Joan is already like, she said that it was more than what she could have imagined when she walked
She
in
was
there.
very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he even said, I think he's like, I'm in the people pleasing business. Like when
Oh,
you
right.
leave
Yeah.
here, you're happy. And I
Mhm.
really loved that because again, like that is the root of like a successful person. Just
Yeah.
like you got to leave happiness in your wake. And it just makes me again feel like he could actually, he's just much deeper than what we saw in the first few episodes with his little, I won't do laundry. Oh, like I need to walk around naked. But now we're seeing you do you, Pascal, as long
Yes.
as you keep bringing joy to people.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
I
Pascal.
love that.
So
Yes.
I think even though that was amazing and lovely, then get into his sports car, which guys, I didn't
Ooh.
catch what type of
I
car it
asked my
was.
husband, it's a Genesis.
Ah,
Genesis.
okay.
I said, that's a hot car. My dad
Oh,
or my husband was like, he's like, yeah, it's an okay car. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't know what you mean by that, but I think it's cool. Maybe it's like,
okay.
I don't know. I have no idea anything about cars.
It's a
But
The Genesis is the luxury brand of the Hyundai. So it is
oh,
a
okay,
really great car. I do know some things about
okay.
cars. I don't know
Girl.
everything, guys. I knew more when I was younger, but you start to forget things as you get older and you have to replace it with new stuff, and I'm a
Were
mom.
you a
So
car girl? Is that what I'm hearing?
well, I used to play race car video games when I was
Yeah.
younger,
Oh
and I
my
do love
god.
F1.
So cool.
So
Awesome. And clearly you pass that down to your son too. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Arena. That is definitely good to know. But yeah, I thought it was a super cute car. I would have been super impressed if someone rolled up with that with me.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and then they head over to his what, apartment, condo?
Condo, something like that, some his luxury
Luxury, yes.
condo, the
Um,
brick front, of course, the building, and it looks very nice inside and spacious.
mhm. His son
Yeah.
had been living there while Pascal was gone, and the son's like, "I didn't throw any parties." She's like, okay."
Yeah,
But the kid seems responsible. He seemed young,
yeah.
but responsible. The daughter, again, like Pascal's daughter, his son were there. I think it was just two, and then
He had 2 daughters, one's
two
much
daughters.
younger, and so she
Sorry.
didn't talk. There was one daughter much younger, but she didn't talk,
Oh, okay.
and then the grandson.
And then their grandson,
Yeah.
who was adorable. They're
Yes.
all so pretty. Can I say
Yeah.
though, I feel like all the kids we met, I was like, they could all be siblings. They all looked the same to me. I mentioned last episode, like all the men seem very, they kind of look alike to me too. But anyways, I would be very confused if I was there with all of them at once, but I'm not, so don't worry.
Yeah, I know,
But they're all very good looking
Mhm.
people
Wearing black.
and sweet. Yeah.
Of course,
They're
his
like,
kids
he's
were wearing
probably wearing black. And they were right.
black. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we think
So,
of the son, the daughter, their conversation? The daughter is so excited for Joan to join that family right now. She's
oh
like,
my God.
"I
Yeah.
want
She
you
was
here
like,
now." She signed up her dad for the show. Like, she's ready.
yeah. Um, Everybody seems like they're really happy for their dad.
Mhm.
They said that she already could feel like joined to the family,
Yeah.
which I think says a lot. And yeah, it just seems like really good vibes overall.
Yeah.
What did they say about him though? They said You may not be
Well,
quite ready.
I think that when Joan was talking to his daughter, she said, "What I'm worried about is that he may not choose me. Like, if I choose him, he won't choose me." And the daughter said, like, she kind of hesitated, but then she was like, "No, I think that he will choose you." And she seems really enthusiastic about that. And then with the son, Joan asked him, has he had a lot of girlfriends? And the son was honest, which was great. He was like, yeah, he has had a lot of girlfriends, but he's looking for that one.
Hmm.
And that was really important for him to clarify with Joan that no, my dad is not looking for just another girlfriend. He's
Yeah.
dated a lot because he was probably looking for that one, and he didn't find that person. And so, like, she'd be a great person to come into his life and be that one. So
Yeah.
I like that it's like they were honest, but they were like, but he's so happy with you. Like, he is so happy. Like, they were saying that they already look like a couple in all of this. So I think that that helped her kind of feel like, oh, okay, this is going in a good direction. However, he is one of the people we find who still has some walls up a little bit. Not as
Yeah.
much as someone else, but still
I literally don't think I wrote down what happened because I know that later on she says that Pascal is one of the ones that she feels nervous about.
Mhm.
She feels he has some reservations, but like I did not write exactly why she thinks that. Do you remember why?
So
Like
they
did he
had
actually
this.
did they actually say something?
They did. Well, he and Joan had a conversation right after. I think it was right after, or was it before? I think it was before he took her to meet his family. They sat down and he
Hmm.
said basically, yes, I do. I kind of do have these walls. And he's like, do you understand? Like, it's not like that he doesn't want to express himself more, but that they're just there because he's been hurt. And recently, last year, he was very in love with a woman and had his heart broken. And
That's
so
what it is.
he
Thank
is
you.
very much like sensitive to the pain of that again and being hurt. And when his daughter said, I'm signing you up for this show, he was like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't know. But then he met Joan and it was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
this is worthwhile. This is a good opportunity for me. So I think that's why
It's so
she's
true.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, if you remember, like, an audience, like, she said to him, what was that, maybe like a couple weeks ago, that she felt like she didn't know if he
Yes.
was as into her because at group dates
Yeah.
he hung back a little
At
bit.
the cocktail party, yes.
Yeah.
She was just kinda like, "You need to do more. You need to step it up."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Sorry, it's just my personality." But she still brought him through,
Yep.
and I think it was smart she did. She
Yes.
still gave him the benefit of the doubt, but, like, he cannot continue
Mm-hmm.
doing that. He needs to step it up,
Yes.
and I feel like he made a big progress at this hometown date, but there's still just that little bit of step that he's not quite getting to,
Mm-hmm.
and she's sensing that. So I do, yeah. Well, again, we'll talk more about like who we think will move on after we go through the episode, but I just wanted to like make sure that was clear, I guess. So thank you, Arena, for kind of filling that in because I was like, I
Oh.
can't. What was it? But
Oh.
you're right. That was exactly what happened. So let's move on. Next, we see Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan, also in Chicago. Of course, we see him next. She's not going to go
Yeah.
to Wichita and then back to Chicago.
This is
Um,
so silly.
yeah. So Jordan, they start off strong. They're like doing a deep dish pizza in Chicago. He's kind of showing her all the cool things.
Food and
Um,
culture.
yeah,
That cake looked delicious, by the way, that he said it was
it
like the best cake.
it
I'm
did,
kind of
but I was
curious.
like, really? I mean, it's a lot of dye in there. I don't know.
It was, I
It was
know,
a
right? But then I
rainbow
was like,
cake, everyone. It was a
is it
rainbow.
like
I was
natural?
like, no
I don't
thanks.
know.
I don't
I
know
don't
if I would eat it, but I mean, honestly, if he says it's the best cake, maybe I'll take a bite. I don't know.
In
Yeah,
the
I'll try
world
it.
or
But
the
like
United
in the
States?
world,
Oh,
in
well, see,
Chicago,
I beg
maybe.
to, I don't know, guys, because and not to be like to Pascal here, but the French have some delicious
Hmm.
desserts. They're not the only ones, but those are probably some of my favorite
Yeah.
desserts are
Have you
French
had
desserts.
cheesecake? Have you had Oreo cheesecake, Jordan?
I
I
used to
don't
eat that when I
know.
ate dairy. It
I
was
know.
so
Me too. I
good.
miss it. I gotta
So
make a
good.
non-dairy one. I'm
Oh,
sure
it's
it's
not the same.
doable. I had a matcha cheesecake at that vegan restaurant I went
Oh,
to for my birthday. It was pretty good.
yum.
Coconut cream.
Hey,
That's
guys.
literally our bread and butter now.
Yes, literally.
But
Literally.
anyways, yeah. So Jordan's date
It it went well.
goes to
The
see his
daytime
family.
part, yeah. But Joan can sense that he's holding back a little. And when they go to see his family is so nice and so
So sweet,
welcoming.
yeah.
I loved his family. And his brothers were there, his daughters, son or sons, and I can't remember, guys. There's so many family members.
Oh,
Each of these
well,
men had
I
so
know.
many, which
Big
was fantastic.
families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and when they sat on the couch initially, I noticed something that I did not see with the other men in the hometown.
Oh,
They were sitting with a little space between each other. Not a
okay.
lot, but I noticed with the other men, there was more of this like, we're together as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
We're right next to each other. And
Yeah.
with Jordan, he was sitting there and Joan was kind of leaning towards him and she had her hands like this, but there was still that little space that it kind of felt like
Interesting.
they weren't on the same page, which we find out they weren't gonna
They
move forward.
weren't. And you know what? That little, honestly, like that you picked up on that is probably key to why his daughter said what she did. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything fell apart for Joan when the daughter said this, but I do think that it probably was the catalyst because
Mhm.
I think it brought to light what Joan was maybe feeling from
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
His daughter straight up said he uses humor to mask his fear
Mhm.
because he is probably like still really, he's been hurting
Yeah.
these past 10 years ever since the divorce.
Yeah.
And I think we learned it was that he was cheated on, right?
That's what it sounded
That's what
like,
we,
that was
when
part
we
of it,
talked
and they
about
tried
it.
to make it work, and they went to counseling, but it just
Yeah,
didn't work
right. And he was like, with his children. And
out.
so they've just seen him, try to bounce back from that, but like maybe he's just not really there. And I think his daughter probably like could sense that that wall was still up. And
Mhm.
she told that to Joan. And I really commend her for like being real with Joan because it's
Yeah,
very easy to just be like, I'm
yeah.
going to like let the chips fall. But like, I think she really wanted Joan to know that. And hopefully, you know, she's hoping that her dad can still like connect with Joan or whatever. But I just felt like that was kind of the beginning of the end
Mhm.
after
It
that
was
conversation.
I agree. That was such a good point to bring up because as nice as like all his family members were so nice and his daughter was so nice, but I like that she was honest
Mhm.
because she didn't want to, paint a different picture or act like, no, he's so ready. Um, she was
Yeah,
honest about it because she also loves her dad and she wants to make sure that he is comfortable and making the right decision. And that was really helpful, like you said, for Joan to hear because she already, I think, feels in her gut and knows that it's not Jordan. He's not ready.
yeah,
He's not there. He's a great guy. He's fun. They're attracted to each other, and that's all great. But, we need more at this point. We're moving forward.
yep,
Top three. We're looking at engagement soon. Flying to
yep,
Tahiti. So, like, we
yeah.
need to. Finally, we're going somewhere besides hometowns. Um, so, it was
Besides
really
Chicago.
important. Yeah, really important to
Yeah.
go through that. So, basically, was there anything else with Jordan? I mean, that was pretty much Jordan's hometown.
I think just like their goodbye, I felt was like just kind of awkward,
Mhm.
honestly. And that was it. And then she left and she came away, like she went out of it just being kind of like, I don't know, like he seems to have walls up, like another guy, like now that's the last two guys. She's leaving, feeling weird and feeling like maybe she's not going to be chosen at the end by them. And
Yep.
obviously, she doesn't want to choose someone who's not going to choose her.
Uh-huh.
But her her knight in shining armor Chalk is next. The guy who has
Yeah.
been a front runner for a while now.
Yes.
He seems so into her, so determined and confident.
Mhm.
So it's really great to see that she had him next. Although I did think it was a little weird how we started off our date. he brings her
Mhm.
to a memorial service for his late
Mhm.
mother, which, hey, if you're going to be seeing how you deal with the family, might as well jump in
Jump right
with
in.
the family. But it was a little bit of mixed vibes.
It
On
is.
one hand, they were very sad talking about the grandmother for a lot of them. But on the other hand, like, you're gonna be great for our dad. Like, date
Yeah.
him. You know,
It's
it
like
was just
tears and joy. It was a combination of
yeah.
those emotions, and, Chalk is a very serious man. He
He
is
is.
not jokey.
He's the
He
opposite of
is
Pascal. Mhm.
Yes, he is, and Jordan, like, Jordan, is on
Yeah. Oh
point.
yeah, Jordan for
He uses
sure.
that to mask, as we learned, but still,
Yeah,
like,
the
Chalk
Chandler.
just is intense. Yes. Chalk is intense, I feel like, and bringing her into that, I think he was very much like, "I really wanna share this with Joan. I want her to meet all these people." I mean, he had his late fiance's father there, and the father, oh, how hard I mean, he seemed like a wonderful man, but how hard is that for
Yeah.
you to show up on a TV show at the memorial service of your daughter who passed away, her fiance,
Her last
who's now
boyfriend's
her last boyfriend and
mother.
fiance, who now wants to meet or get engaged to this other woman, and your daughter, you're still grieving your daughter because you, as a parent, from what I understand, is that losing a child is the worst thing ever in the entire world, no matter what age
Ugh,
they are.
literally
So,
so, so sad.
yes. So
Yeah,
that
I
was
agree. I think that was
interesting.
like a surprising person,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, it speaks to the connection that Chuck forms with people in his
Yes.
life.
Yes. It does.
For someone like in that position to show up on this kind
Yeah.
of event,
Huh.
knowing that your his new girlfriend will be there,
Mhm.
says a lot about the connection he has with that
It
man.
does.
So on that note, I think it was very good to see
Helpful pep
that.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
Um,
And his dad was there with the dad's wife and his kids, and yeah, they did the and his brother or
mhm,
brothers. A
yeah.
lot of people were there, and yeah, they did the memorial service for his mother, who sounded like an amazing person, by the way. She was a doctor. She traveled overseas to help others. Like, and especially back then, wow,
Mhm.
she was getting it
Incredible.
done. Career woman.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Dang.
Clearly a wonderful, amazing woman. Um,
Yes. Oh my
and
goodness.
again, it explains a lot about why Chalk is the way he is. I mean, he's a very accomplished man, very dedicated. So yeah, I think it was a good, like, considering those factors, I think it
Yes.
was probably the best outcome of
Yeah.
that kind of hometown.
Yes. It
Ooh,
was
lots of
so,
emotions. That's all I can say.
oh my goodness, so many emotions, and
Mhm.
we see what I think was a very important conversation that Chalk had with his dad, where his dad was like, "Are you in love?" And Chalk was like, "I'm getting there. I'm really," and his dad was like, "Well, let me just tell you what I see. I see that you're in love."
Yeah.
And he was like, "And when I say you're in love, I mean both of you. I'm including her in that."
Oh.
The dad was just like, "This is what I
I
see.
liked
I
that.
know you."
Yeah, it's like, stop it. Like, you're
Yeah.
letting your fear
Mhm.
get in the way. Like, these guys are no different from the guys on The Bachelorette or the girls on The
Yeah.
Bachelor. Like, in the end, that's the roadblock that these people have at this
Yeah.
point, and it is the family's duty that if they approve of the person, they need to get their their person in order, you know?
You
Don't be
want them?
afraid.
Say it.
Yeah, this is
Do
the
not hold
time. You're gonna lose her if you say nothing,
back.
and
Mhm.
you'll lose her if you don't try. So,
Mhm.
you just have to try.
Yeah, and he's like, that he said that, if it doesn't work out, that it's really gonna hurt, but he's like, "But hey, that's love and that's the risk that you take." And I wanna say that his son said the same thing in an ITM, and I was like, "That is so his son," which is so funny because his son
Mhm.
seems young, but his son was just
Yeah,
like, "Hey," like, "You are Chalk's son."
that's
Saying the
cute. I know
same thing that your
they
dad
really
is.
looked alike
They
too.
do. I was like, "That
Um,
Chalk when he was younger."
yeah, but I guess they also look like Jordan and Pascal. Just
That's true,
kidding.
yeah.
Uh,
No, I'm
but,
kidding.
yeah.
We're kidding,
I
guys, we're
still
kidding.
I'm like, I have to get, like, a police board up and
Yeah,
get the
you need,
red
like, a
yarn and stuff. Like, I am
like, the board, a
frazzled with
bunch
these
of
faces.
these are the 4 different.
Yeah.
Um,
But okay,
anything else really with
I think that was
Joan?
mostly it. I
Yeah.
think, oh, he did tell her he's falling for
All
her.
right.
And once again, like she needs to hear that stuff at this point. So I was really happy that Chalk didn't leave her confused. Because after those past two, when she left, I just felt so sad for her that she was starting to doubt herself. But Chalk, once again, is that person to ground her and help her feel confident.
Yeah.
Um, and so let's move on to the rose ceremony.
Yes.
Um,
I love
do
her
you want to
dress.
just say,
Can I
oh
say
yeah,
before,
she
but
looks
like
beautiful.
she looked beautiful. She always looks so good that I
I
love this
know.
too, that
She
she's
really
the
is like
Golden Bachelorette
hot
because
grandma.
she is. Like she's really showing people don't stop trying when you get to a certain age, guys. Keep
Mhm.
going. And if you're hot now, I feel like keep the hotness going, guys. When you're hot, if you're hot when you're young, keep it going.
Yes.
Just don't, yeah,
Don't
just
let it go.
don't let it go. And it does not matter either if your body changes
And
because
hot
it
is whatever
will.
you think it is. Doesn't matter what
Yes,
society says. Just feel hot.
yes,
If you feel hot, keep
yes.
that feeling forever.
And you'll look hot
Yeah.
even if you feel, because confidence is everything, guys. Just your
100%.
little info for you from a couple 30 somethings. Anyways,
Okay.
we're still young
So, yeah.
though.
Oh my God, right. We know so much.
Uh, but yes,
Okay, so the three roses. First, Chalk, obviously.
saw
Then
that coming.
Guy, obviously.
Yes.
And lastly, Pascal, which I was happy about. I do feel like he's a
It
better
made
choice than
sense.
Jordan.
It made sense. Yeah.
Jordan was just,
Enjoy.
it wasn't happening. And the fact that his daughter was like, I don't think he's ready. He's in that fear state. Like he's just not ready. And that's okay. But he shouldn't be there. So
He
that was
can
a
go
good choice.
on.
Although she,
Right.
uh-huh,
He should go on the Golden Bachelor
right.
cruise.
Yeah.
He might find someone there. Just say.
Yeah. But I think it was good that she chose Pascal. She did have reservations with him though. So I think in her head, she was like, this is a pointless decision, but I have to choose another person. But I think I'm glad that she did.
Mhm.
Um, I
I think she even.
actually,
I think she likes
yeah,
him more. I think
I
she
think so
really likes
too.
Pascal. Like
I
really.
think she's starting to realize that like he would be a very fun person to live with. Um, should we go into our predictions? Because I kind of
Yes.
want to say mine.
Yes.
Okay, so I actually think Pascal might be the one. And I say that for two reasons. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm changing it from chalk because, okay, they did show the scenes from next week,
Mhm.
and there's somebody who says they don't see a future with her. Okay.
Mhm.
And I don't know who it is, but there were also a lot of scenes, and again, it could be the producers doing their little thing. But I there were a lot of scenes where Pascal was like pushing the cameras away, like comforting her, finding a space for her to sit, talking with her. And like it just seemed like he really was protecting her and wanting to understand how she was feeling. And it just didn't scream to me that that he was the one to say that. And I don't think the connection is with Guy. So I think it's really between Chalk and Pascal. And I think she might choose Pascal. The second reason that I actually think is more important, but I don't even know if they're thinking about this, but I'm thinking about it because it's all I think about with this Golden Bachelorette and Bachelor series. But it's like, who can actually be long distance with their grandkids? I don't think anyone except Pascal is in the position financially and just like socially to be able to do that. He already travels to France all the time. He already travels for business.
Mhm.
His kids seem chill. Like I just feel like he of all people would be able to be like, "Oh, you need to be in Maryland next weekend? Boom, booked our flights.
Mhm.
Oh, we need to go to this place? Boom, like I got it." Or whatever, or like, oh, you're in Maryland and you need me tomorrow. All right, I'll be there. I got to go back to Chicago Friday morning, or whatever. I
Mhm.
just feel like he has that energy and the finances to it. So like, I just feel like he makes the most sense. I think what's missing is just that confidence and like just knowing that it's real. So that's my prediction. What do you think, Arena?
I mean, you have hit so many points right on the head. It's so true that I feel like, the connection with Guy is not very strong compared to Chalk and Pascal.
Mhm.
And I think that obviously, we know that she is really into chalk. But Pascal, I
Yeah.
think over the few weeks that we've seen him more, and definitely from this hometown,
Yeah.
even though there was some hesitation, that
Mhm.
she feels stronger about Pascal. And she just
Yeah.
really, really, really likes him. And she's
Yeah.
so like into him that I also feel like there's also a very strong physical attraction too, even though she has
Mhm.
that with Chalk.
Yeah.
Chalk's a different kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like like we said, he's very serious. And
Yeah.
Pascal is very fun and, as she has said, sexy. And
Yeah.
he has that to him that
The
appeals
je
to
ne sais
her,
quoi.
of course. Yes. Yes. Thank you for
Ooh.
busting out the French.
Ooh. No, I
Are you
speak
listening,
French.
Pascal? Did you? I took French a little bit, but I was never good at it.
I
Um,
love French.
I love it, but I'm not good at it. And I loved visiting France, but
Oh,
I'm just not.
yeah. French
Any.
was like the language that made me want to learn more languages. So like,
Oh,
yeah, I like when I was in high school, I like taught myself a little French and then I went to France even though I didn't take French. They took me on the school trip.
oh,
So
nice.
I'm like French is like I love French and Spanish. But yeah, sorry. Back
Oh
to
no,
our
that's
episode.
cool. No, that's
I
so great
love
because I mean, I
French.
hope Pascal or his children are
I
listening. Um,
know. That would be
we
cool.
we love French. And actually, no, like, in all seriousness, though, like, even I'm going off topic here, but this past summer with the Olympics, I just thought it was so cool that it was in
Mhm.
Paris, and I just
Yeah,
really I love French food, even though it's very creamy. I know, guys.
I
But
know.
outside of that, I love French food. Actually, I really love French desserts, and I really want to go to the French Riviera one day. That is, we only went to
Ooh.
Paris. I haven't been to the Riviera, and I would love.
That would be really fun.
So
Yeah.
fun. And the vineyards and stuff. Oh my
Mhm. I
gosh.
know. I need like a long trip in France where I can like
Yes.
really travel. Like I've been
Yes.
to Reims and Paris, and one other place. What was it? Oh, but it was something with a B. But I was younger, I was, like,
Right.
in high school when I did that. I did go to Paris for my honeymoon, but again, it was, like, a short trip, only Paris. Like, we wanted to go to the vineyards outside of Paris, but they canceled it because it was, like, post-COVID and, like, I guess
Oh.
they were also, like, closed for the summer, which
Oh.
they
Oh.
neglected to tell us.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
whatever though.
No. We went in December and it was our honeymoon too. Like we did a mini moon right after we got married, but
Mhm.
then we did at the vineyards in Sonoma and Napa, which was funny. But then we went to
Ah.
Europe for our
Mhm.
honeymoon the following year, and it was Christmas time. So it was very cold and it was New Year's. So we spent New Year's in Paris, but my husband got food poisoning.
Oh,
So that
no.
kind of
That sucks.
ruined everything. Yeah. And then I
Ugh.
got food poisoning on the way back. We stopped in London. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh my gosh.
So
I'm so
fun.
sorry to hear that. That
So this is why I need to
sucks.
go back to these
You
places.
need
We
to go
also went to
back.
Amsterdam, but it was so quick, and I just want to go back to these places. But and my daughter really wants to go to Paris one day. She asked me. She was like, "Mommy, I want to go to
Yes.
Paris." And I
Oh,
was like,
she would kill it in Paris.
"Right."
Um,
Anyways, back to this,
but
guys. I'm sorry.
okay. Yeah.
So
So do you think you've
I think
changed, do you think
chalk.
chalk or Pascal? You think chalk?
I'm torn now because I think 100% Chalk and Pascal are the top two.
Yeah.
But I think Chalk, and I hate saying this every season, but I think Chalk is a safe choice. I think she's
Uh-huh.
into Chalk, okay? But I also think, in addition to that, he's a safe choice.
But
However,
I feel
you
like
brought
he
up
might,
a good point.
yeah. Go
The
on.
travel,
Yeah.
his life is in Kansas or Kansas City. His life is in the
Mhm.
Midwest. And like you said, Pascal can get up and travel anytime. His kids are chill about it.
Mhm.
He has the means to do that. And honestly, she lives in Maryland, which is a suburb of Washington, D.C., which is a very international city, which is really awesome, right?
Mhm.
That's great for Pascal.
Yeah.
Like,
He could
she's
open a salon here. Oh my
right.
god. We gotta do it. Yeah.
Hello. There's a great French restaurant here too, or there.
Uh-huh.
And
There.
and I just think that he could be like a really good option. And plus, guys, like I was telling Julia this before we started recording, my husband literally walks by when I'm watching this
Mm.
episode and he
Mhm.
says,
Mhm.
"It's Pascal." And I was like, "What?"
Why has
I'm
this been so
sorry.
good at this? Ugh,
I
I should have
know.
my
And I'm
husband
like,
do a prediction too.
"No. We should. We should have them do that." And he's like, "Yeah, I just I think it's him. And I was like, huh. And I gotta tell you guys, my husband was pretty much almost on the money for Joey's season of The Bachelor of who he was gonna
Wow.
pick.
That's funny.
I mean, we were too. But I'm saying
I
my
know
husband
we
didn't watch
were,
every episode, and
but
he
he
was
didn't
like,
watch it all. Yeah.
exactly. But you brought up some really great points. So I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say because I'm torn now. But I think they're
Hmm.
both top two. And I'm getting a little tricked by some of these teasers we see because you know how they show you things that make it look bad for someone, but it's just a trick, or
Yeah.
they play audio that makes it sound bad for someone, but it's just a
Yes.
trick. And it's kind of like
Yeah.
you mentioned with Pascal. That was kind of intense, but I don't think that's a bad thing, whatever's going on. I think that
Yeah.
it was just something that happened. And then with Chalk, earlier in the season, they showed him walking out to like a black SUV and it looked like they were in a tropical place. So honestly, I assumed it
Mm-hmm.
was the top three fantasy suites.
Tahiti.
But that could have just
So they
been
say
him
it in French.
leaving after the overnight. So
True.
I mean, he was
Oh,
wearing shorts.
they
I mean,
love to mess with us.
yes.
But
So I think you're on the money though, but I just can't. I don't
I
know,
know.
and I'm glad there's some
I know. I'm glad
uneasiness.
there's a little bit of intrigue.
Yes, because I
Because it's
don't.
always, it's like more fun when there's a little bit of
Yes.
a question
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
I will say I just have this sinking feeling that Chalk may pull a Devin where it's like he's super, super into her. And then like the
Mhm.
one time he feels doubt,
Mhm.
he'll pull back and then
Mhm.
it'll all come crushing down. Or
Mhm.
God forbid she chooses him and then they can't make it work because of the long distance and then they break up like Teresa and Gary. So I just like, I don't know. Now that it's coming down to the wire, I'm like, I feel like she should just go with Pascal
Mhm.
for fun reasons, but also just like taking that risk.
Yeah.
It could pay off. But I guess we'll see.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking Pascal. Like just going with
So
Pascal
I'm kind of
because
hoping for him, honestly.
I am now
Yeah.
too. Like because you bring up some really great points and she did say in a voiceover that she doesn't know like is Chalk still really into her? Like is he
Hmm.
no and that was interesting and I was thinking, okay, what happened? That
Right.
there's a reason she's saying that. And we don't see anything or hear anything negative regarding Pascal at this point. There's
Right.
nothing negative. They
It's
showed
just
us
that
visuals,
he
but
had a hard breakup and
yeah.
he's still maybe recovering.
Hmm.
I think for him, he looks more like a risk on the outside because he is so hot and popular.
Hmm.
But if she is chosen by him,
Hey.
that'll all make it just this wonderful match.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm
Now I'm
hoping.
getting really
I'm
excited.
Team Pascal. I
Oh
can't
my
believe
gosh.
I'm saying
Yes.
this.
Team
Remember
basketball.
a
We
few
should get
episodes
like,
we'd be like, yeah,
right?
what?
We were like, this is not happening. But
I
like,
know,
okay,
not
they
top
get
5 or top
they get to the
6.
top two, and it's Pascal and Chalk because guys, okay, come on, it's got to be Pascal and
Come
Chalk.
on.
We should do like a French thing. Like we should have like some sort of
Oh,
oh my gosh, and the
baguettes.
drink, what is it called? French 75 or something? Like
Oh, a French 75.
yeah.
Yes. Favorite. I love those.
They're so good,
Yes.
right?
Let's have
So
those.
guys, oh my
For
gosh,
the finale.
I'm like so
Which
excited.
when is that? They
Guys,
haven't released the next
this
dates.
is frustrating. We don't even know. Because we'll have the episode next week, which will be the top three, but they probably won't show who goes home in the top three. They'll probably do like they normally do. The next week will be Men Tell All, and that's probably where they might show us who the third person is who leaves. Wait,
Wait,
what?
I see the Golden Bachelorette season 1 finale will air on November 13th at 8 p.m. So we have to check with our collaborator. We're going to collab with Date Card Pod with
Yes.
Jenna. We love her.
OMG. So that is the season
When?
finale. And we didn't know. So when we scheduled our collab with Jenna, we didn't know, but she actually said, hey, is that the season finale? And we were like, we don't know.
Yes. Oh my
But it
gosh, how
is.
exciting. Yay. All right. So we'll have to let her know that it is confirmed. So, guys, that's going to be a banger of a finale. We're very excited. I won't be here next week. So sad. But, Arena, are you going to do a solo episode? Is
I
that
think
the
I'm gonna do
plan?
a solo.
Woo,
I might
you
do it
can
the
do
night
it.
of just to like
Oh
get
my
it
God.
done, guys.
Yes.
I might power through.
Do
His house is gonna
it.
be busy.
It is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I will certainly, maybe when I get back after I watch it, maybe I'll do a little live and just like give my extra 2 cents after
Yeah,
listening to your podcast episode.
yeah,
I'd love to like still give input, if
yeah.
there's any ideas or whatever that I have. And I am really excited about next week. So I will try and find a time to watch it.
Yay!
But yeah,
And we'll
all
be
right,
back
guys.
after that, guys, of course, the week after for that mental all most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll kind of recap that, but like we said, they'll probably do the third or the rose ceremony where the third goes home during that one. So we'll definitely talk about
Mm-hmm.
that. And we'll
That
find
would
out maybe they will tell us who the new Golden Bachelor is.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Maybe next week we'll think about our prediction, and you can share that with everyone. I'll let you know who I
Yeah.
think it will be.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yay.
guys.
Fun new
Oh,
end of season, but next
yes.
episodes. Yay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye,
Weekend.
guys. Have a good
Bye.